Hello and welcome to Neverwinter Nights, and this will be part 70. In the previous part, we start punching our way through the fire giant's lair. This was to be expected. We are just outside the king's place, and of course, a fire giant king is probably quite strong. So let us buff ourselves up a bit, shall we? It doesn't matter about endurance. Cat squares. Full strength. So, 21, 22, 28. Wait. That leaves us with an armor class of 38. That should be fine, I hope. So, let's see what we can do. Ah, it's moved. Don't mind fighting him by himself. That would be good. He has an easy time hitting me, as you might have gathered. Apparently he's impossible. But that's not going to be the case. Not impossible, just difficult. Oh, 600 experience, by the way. Not bad. And a visual book. Wait. So, we flattened the king and there's a hellhound left. Whatever will we do? Do you mind? Thank you. We get it back. Always nice. I did say I was going to use potions for these kind of fights, so... Another bowstrings, I'll happily take those. It's nice to get the extra damage boost by having a potion. Did I check that one? I probably did. Yes, I did. What about this one? No. A Morning Star, hooray. Bone Phoenix, hooray, +1. It's only 1 to 6 fire damage, but still. Was that the... yeah, that was him. Okay. But there's a door on there. That looks intriguing. That was the pass amulet, of course. Yeah, bound to be a bucket load of traps here. This should lead down to... yeah, indeed. Cool. I'm immune to poison, I don't care. Trap triggered. Trap triggered. Trap triggered. Surprise, surprise, and more surprises. Damage +2. Don't want to have that extra weight. Opal. Okay. Probably an idea to go back to speeding things up. The key we got from the king unlocks this passage, which ends up leading down to the ancient red dragon that we need to go and visit. But of course there are two areas, one of them which is somewhat important if you want to make your life easier, and the other one is mainly experience gains. Some of the enemies that you are facing in this area are extremely keen on tossing several spells at you, as you can possibly tell. And of course, every enemy in this game would like to turn invisible in some way, shape or form. So it can be a bit annoying to run around and find them. And of course, when they have one-shot spells and you forget to quick save, then you lose a bit of focus, but that will be edited out. It has been edited out, and I'll quite clearly put crossfade in so people can see that I'm happily showing that yes, I did a goof, or my character failed saving throw more likely. I guess at one point or another you run out of challenges you can face, and you have to face something that is challenging, but at the same time not something that would necessarily demolish you, because despite the fact that we are quite powerful and most of the enemies we fight, unless they can cheap shot us by a one-shot spell, most enemies can't do anything, but it is always possible to make a character that, or an enemy, that will require quite a bit of challenge. Or that poses quite a bit of challenge, I think it's called. And you'll have to work hard to crack that challenge in order to proceed. Speaking of, and this is completely unrelated to this game, but it just popped into my head and I just want to mention it. There was a game giveaway on GOG.com, and it was a pseudo role-playing a la the older Scrolls games, but a bit more action-oriented perhaps. And the critics had it rated at 47 out of 100, and I was playing it a bit and I thought, this isn't that bad. Why have they rated as low as they have? It was a bit sluggish, but nothing inherently bad. And then I got into the first major boss fight, and the game has been crashing 4 or 5 times on me, and once I can be bothered, I will go through and to see if I can get through the boss fight, so I can play the game further. But always lovely when you bump into a boss fight and the game decides that now is a good time to crash. Anyway, back to what we're currently doing. We are down in an area with a blue dragon that just stands there and looks up city, so it probably has a purpose, and we should probably look into what that purpose is. So we are now within the Dragon Chamber, Soul Chamber. So what we need to do is Dragon Sphere. Good thing I saved, because I got the order wrong. We now have the sphere we can use to absorb a dragon essence. So we probably need to kill this one. So first screw up was to do things in the wrong order. Second screw up was to fail against 3 on a natural 1, which is lovely. We need to kill this dragon so we can absorb its dead body into the sphere. Let's not do that now. Feed me, feed me. Where's your food? How do we go now? We'll need to flatten it, unfortunately. Hope it won't fail again. Hooray! I mean, it's not just a question of just flattening a dragon, of course. I mean, as long as it insists on casting spells against me, I'm perfectly fine. Is it melee that's dangerous? For the monk at least, because of the relatively high spell resistance. Reflex against the bird. Come on. Come on, die. Thing. 327. For that, not too bad. I'll take it. It was worth a heal potion. I got nothing better to spend gold on, so got nearly 600,000, so we're good. Get these done. Quick save and go and absorb the dead dragon. The 380 is a powerful heat and on close inspection it appears to be a winged shape lying motionless beneath the smooth dark surface, the captured essence of a dead dragon. So, we now have the weakness. Dragon blood. No use for us. We now have the object to weaken Cloud. If we decide to bash his head in, which we might want to, I don't know. Let's go and speak to the stupid thing. We are actually almost done this area now. We need to run out and do 2 other quests, which is a bit... It could probably been more efficient, but I deliberately wanted to... Oops. Do things in a certain order. Just for extra style points. So, probably got friends down there guarding him. Can't remember, I'd say. Does not appear to be the case. Maybe, oh, of course, yeah, this is trapped to high heaven. Fireballs being fired. Anyone else? No? Okay. We're slowed, which means we have lost our haste. Whatever will we do? We need to get rid of Klaus or whatever he's called. Because he is in possession of the water power. I mean, that's of course what we need to complete.
So, at last you have come. I assume my fire giant servants are dead. No matter. They are of little consequence to me. I can find other servants. Perhaps even you will serve. Come closer. I will not harm you. These last days of the eons of my life pass slowly now, and I would speak with you to break the monotony.
Who are you? I wanted to pronounce his own name. Which it didn't, of course. How do you know my name? I'm old, blah blah blah. Ask you some questions. Tell me, what the fuck, what kind of trade? I perform dark rituals to feed my essence. For these rituals, I need to exit other dragons. Bring me these treasures, and I'll give you the word of power. So we don't need to deal with them. Oh well, whatever. Where can I find these dragon legs? How do I know I can trust you? It doesn't matter. Never deal with the dragon. Creative is more criminals cult. Too much to lose. I'll be going now. So, we have cleared an entire area so we can come and go at will. This, of course, is of some importance because we need to go and kill some hill giants or hill giant chieftain for the green dragon, then make her eggs, piss her off, kill her. We'll have to, or we could run away, I suppose. Come back, drop off the eggs, give him the sphere of the dead dragon, and then kill him, and call the episode Double Dragon. Why not? One misfortune at a time, but back to speeding things up. Reconsidering, I was thinking there's no reason for anyone to have to watch me run through the entire area of the Fire Giant's lair, so I decided to just cut to the Hill Giant's cave. And of course we have to punch our way through about 200 Hill Giants and other miscellaneous irrelevant punchbags in order to get to our target, which of course is the king, chieftain thing of the Hill Giants. Once you've been fighting the Fire Giants, the Hill Giants are not exactly the greatest threat in the world, but of course, as I was saying very early on in this chapter, there's quite a few high health monsters in this area, on this chapter in general, and that is quite a noticeable thing about chapter 3 is suddenly everything takes forever and a half to die. But yet again, it is valuable loot and experience, so running around punching things for that is always beneficial, and getting paralyzed by an acid trap is becoming a recurring theme, and it will continue to recur. My saving throw at the moment is not exactly amazing, I admit, so my character's saving throw, not mine. I don't have them, as far as I know. I don't know, maybe I have. Maybe there's a hidden stat sheet somewhere about me. 4 strength, 1 dexterity, 3 wisdom, 2 intelligence. No, maybe not. Of course, I like to scout out caves fully, just in case there's a spiffy item that you are potentially missing, which of course would be sad. And of course, because of the fact that a lot of the loot is actually randomized, I'm sure that another paralyzed, by the way. Never fails. I never fail to fail saving throws against acid traps. But because of the random nature of the loot from most chests, as mentioned in a much earlier episode, you can basically game the system if you want to. If you know that a certain item can spawn in one of those chests, you could basically save in front of a chest, reload, open it. If you're not happy with what you get, reload until you get something that you find remotely beneficial or useful. I'm not a fan of doing it. I mean, if I wanted to make use of such a mechanic, I could just use the console which the game comes with. It is relatively easy to use, and finding code for items is very simple to do if you know how to use an internet browser. But that kind of defeats the purpose of playing the game in the first place. So we'll just take what the game gives us. Sometimes you get the loot that you want, and sometimes you don't. And that's just the way the good old-fashioned cookie combos and all that stuff, whatever it is people say. It's probably something a lot more fancy these days, but I can't exactly claim that I've been doing my utmost to stay in touch. Heal potions is something I'll be using quite extensively because I can. Money needs to be spent on something. Well, technically it doesn't need to be spent, but when you're playing something like a monk that doesn't rely on equipment, You're not going to spend an awful lot of money on equipment, of course, because you don't need it. Things like cloaks, necklaces, and rings, and that kind of good stuff, of course, will still set you back quite a bit of money. But you don't have to worry about buying weapons and armor and shields and that kind of stuff, so you are definitely saving an awful lot of money. In that regard, I know some people have been talking about the monk as being broken. I think on a personal note that it has enough drawbacks to justify the extra power it has, but there's no doubt about the fact that it is actually quite a powerful class, and of course it also saves a lot of money not having to buy equipment. Had this been a more serious Dungeons and Dragons or role-playing game, we wouldn't have been carrying around all that money, of course, because a monk, a lawful good monk, would most likely have donated them to, or donated the money to some people that need it more than the monk does. Which, of course, because of monk philosophy, is just about everyone else but themselves. I can't remember whether I actually mentioned my idea of the monk, which is, or my image of the monk, which would be is something in between a mix of Chuck Norris and Mr. Miyagi from The Karate Kid. Maybe my imagination is too vivid. I don't know, but no, Mr. Miyagi being very, very wise in his ways, and of course, Chuck Norris being Chuck Norris. It is likely watching too much Chuck Norris that has made me so enamored with monk classes, because of course when others need 200 swords and halberds and bows and all sorts of things, you've been able to just go in with your fist and punch things so they explode is a sort of nice. Some people will probably not find it particularly enjoyable and like finding big swords and all that stuff, and I can appreciate that. That is very, very understandable. But being able to do much with less is a concept I've always enjoyed. When people are using more advanced techniques and using some old-fashioned stuff that actually works, is something that I find enjoyable. And yet another paralyze, but we are going to go back to the live commentary. I didn't even notice that was the chieftain. Oh. Here we are. Must be a bit sad for a giant using a weapon I hit harder than he does. With my fists. Come on. $600 experience for that, not too bad. And of course some treasure chests. And it's head for the dragon. So, back to speeding things up. Considering the fact that I would not be able to squeeze in the remaining part of this area, in one video, I decided to just cut it here and finish off the rest of it in the next part. So, as for now, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye bye.